Welcome everybody. Welcome to one of the greatest streams here today, right now. Let me just make sure my systems are running. It looks like GPJPY should be continuing moving bullish here, and we're gonna keep an eye on that right now. So basically, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to get in on some buys here in GPJPY here very soon. Creating some sort of a support down over here at this point, around 132.750. This 15-minute candle is about to close. So right here, we're creating some sort of support. 15-minute candle is about to close, and if it closes bullish, I think it's going to be a very good opportunity to continue moving up to 133, 133 even. Good opportunity to continue moving up. So we're gonna wait and see. The 30-minute candle is closing bearish. It's gonna get a little tricky here. Tricky. Gold is ranging. Gold is whatever. Gold is just ranging. I got in a small position here in a buy on GPJPY, keeping the stops below this current candle here and expecting the next candle to continue moving up to possibly fill this wick up over here. Let's take a look at this chart. 30-minute buy is above 132.900. Waiting for resistance to form, retest the low. Oh, nice. So you're looking for sells over here. That's a juicy apple. This is a very juicy apple. It's actually very good to eat fruits in the morning. You know, keeps your brain active. USD CAD fell further down. Let's take a look at US 30. I think US 30 was bullish. US 30 is very bullish. It's ranging now. And for this, first of all, need to look at the pre-markets. Pre-markets are bullish, very bullish, up like 400 points. So looking at, oh yeah, it's very bullish here. I think if it continues going up, and you look left, let's take a look left here. Maybe this is an area where it's gonna come up till 25,900. That could be a really good area. 25,900. Let's bring it all the way here to the right hand side. Perfect. So if you go down to the 1 hour, go down to the 30-minute, it kind of seems like we're creating a minor resistance up over here. So it may want to come down, create a support, and then continue going up, or you see it's like kind of ranging on the 15-minute here as well. So yeah, it's like a mini consolidation is forming right at this level here. And this is a 40 point range. GJ is still in here. So we had a break above this area around 132.740, This is a 15 minutes, so it gets a little bit risky, right? Because the confirmations aren't as strong on the 15 minutes, so you have to be careful about that. One thing I'm looking at it is that this candle to respect the low of the previous candle and continue moving bullish. But if it starts breaking down, I will start closing 50% of my positions once price comes down to like 760, 132, 760. That's where I'm going to start closing 50% of my positions because you don't want to take a full loss, right? You want to take a partial loss. What's this? Markup before. Yeah, looks good. I mean, this is pretty zoomed out. Looking at GJ continue bullish range from 8 to the lower time frame. Yeah, so I think you'll need to zoom in a little bit down over here to see what information you find down over here. Or is this the old price? Yeah, it could be. Hey, good morning, good morning. See, we're coming up now slowly. As it continues past this wick, that's where I'm going to start securing positions, right? But if it starts coming down, if it starts coming down past my entry point, then I'm going to start closing 50%. Because the worst thing you can do is let price, like you're in the money right now. The worst thing you can do is let price take that money away from you and more money away from you. So you're constantly looking at to see how to manage risk. Now, as we're moving bullish, I'm looking at the price here basically. So I'm going to start securing around, I think around 132,920, 132,930, 920, 930. I think that's going to be a pretty good spot. Um, all these mouth sound effects. This is like ASMR. Yeah, the mic is very sensitive for the mouth effects. I'm trying to see how it can be better. See now, as it's coming past my entry here, as soon as it comes into a little bit of a drawdown, I'm going to close 50%, and then I'm going to let the rest run. You know, so that's something I'm very cautious about. Yeah, US 30 is still in this range here. So at this point, I closed 50%. Right? I was expecting it to go down, but it's not doing what we wanted to do, so that's why it was a good idea to close 50% at this point. Hello, everyone. We have new people coming in right now. Do you not trade retest? Yeah, I do trade retest. I think this was a retest. See, this candle's about to close in 7 minutes, so we'll see what happens. Sound is bad. Oh, I think sound is pretty good, I think. Sound should be pretty okay. Yeah, so at this point I close 50% because if it starts respecting this resistance And if we break below 132,750, then there's a very high chance we may correct this move that happened out of nowhere. I think it was one of the announcements for the news. Actually, let's take a look here. Ooh, yeah, I think it was the surprise announcements here. ECB's mild growth scenario. Oh, no wonder euro has been climbing up. That's why. All right, let's take a look at GJ. Tested resistance level, psychological level, looking for sells. Okay, someone's looking for sells over here. Our 2-month trade just with break and retest on 30-minute up 48%. Beautiful. Well, looks like GJ is not giving up here, so we're still in it. Is it okay to have a fixed amount to risk every day? Thinking of getting risk every day? Yeah, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. If you have a fixed amount to risk every day, I think that's awesome. You know, because then sooner or later, what's going to happen is that once you start winning trades with that risk, what's going to happen is that you start getting confident risking that much, you know, and then some days you're going to say, okay, well, you know, maybe today I want to risk a little bit more, or I want to go high a little bit more. So that confidence is going to play like a very important role in getting your compounding in. You know, when you start compounding your account, that's what happened with me. I was trading like 5 lots, 2 lots, and then one day I'll say, okay, you know what? I'm going to try 10. And with 10, what's it going to be? Like maybe if I have a 10 pip stop or 15 pip stop, I'm going to lose like what, like $1,000 to $1,500. And that came after I did my big withdrawal in March. After that, I was like, okay, you know what? Now it's time to maybe up the lot sizes. Will GJ go down? Question mark. I think GJ will go down once it breaks below 132,740. Then it's going to go down. I don't think it's going to go down before that. So that's the condition for sells. It has to break below this area to continue down and maybe correct this move up. If it's going to go up, it has to respect this area and like it has to break above 132,840. So that would be the condition for it to go up as well. And so far, it doesn't seem like it's doing what we expected it to do. I expected it to continue moving, keep on creating bullish candles, but seems like we're having some sort of issues here. So this 15-minute candle is about to close in 3 minutes. If it closes bearish, I'm gonna exit my entire position. This is one of my theories that when price taps a major zone like it just did, it becomes less likely to retest the high. Yes. Yeah, because we can see it's creating a minor resistance over here. But, you gotta risk it to bite the biscuit sometimes. Um, so more, you're just speaking on short-term scalp, that's your trade. Yes. Yes, like my trades take about maybe 15-20 minutes. 15-20 minutes, like around that time. Most I'm gonna let a trade in is gonna be like 45 minutes, 30 minutes to 40 minutes. If it doesn't work, then I exit because I not only have conditions for my technicals on the trade, I have conditions for the time of my trade too. Like it has to complete within half an hour. If it doesn't, then it's going to take a long time. Then there's no point. Because then, there are chances it might just start ranging. If you were to start over again, would you do anything different in regards to compounding your account? Yeah, if I was to start over again, I would maybe focus on taking 1 to 2 trades a day. All right, what's this? This is GPNZD, price break support, price made a low. Take the entry when price retest the broken zone. Yeah, it looks good. You're expecting it to continue moving down, so I think yeah, it should look good. Should continue moving. This candle's about to close the 15-minute candle. If it closes like a doji, I'm still gonna stay in the trade here. Yeah, everything is just with the $100 account, can taking 1 or 2 trades a day take someone anywhere? Yes, but it's going to be a very slow grind. If you have a $100 account, it's going to be a very, very slow process. Would you try to grow your account by a certain percentage or just focus on 1% of a risk? When I was starting to get in my groove, I was focusing on percentages, but then I started to get better, I started to get more confident, then I started focusing on maybe increasing my lot sizes. That's what I started to focus on. So you'll find when you start to get confident, you'll start testing yourself with different lot sizes. So I think that's where the growth happens. Um, GJ long sell doesn't even make sense. Yeah, GJ long sell makes no sense. So see how it's closing bearish, the 15-minute candle. So at this point, yeah, at this point I exited my positions. At this point, right here, closed everything. So I had a 10 lot open and I lost around $37. $37.13. Ooh, we have a long time listener, first time caller here today. Why you don't close 50%? I already closed 50%. I think it came in late. Let's take a look here. So this is GJ 1 hour waiting for price to break resistance and form a new support via retest looking for buyers above 133. Yeah, that's good. I mean, above 133 would make perfect sense. Because we tapped into this area, so you're looking for buys above this area, which makes sense. Okay, good. I was actually expecting price to come up to retest 133, really. I closed 50%, so I took an entry here when price went into profits, and when it started coming down beyond my entry, that's where I closed 50%, right? And the rest of the position I closed when this candle closed bearish. So yeah, but yeah, I mean, risk management is key, man. Risk management is key. You have to be on the ball. You have to be really on the ball. Anyone here just feel like the market is out to get them each time to take a trade? I think if you're trying to take a trade 3 or 4 times, then you'll find that the market is out to get you. So yeah, if it wants to go up, then you would want to see candles closing above, 132, 840, 850, and then you can take buys going up over here. But if we start breaking below 132, 750, then there's a very high chance we're going to come down to maybe fill this wick and then eventually down to 132. I'd say like 132, 500 would be a pretty good idea. So just waiting right now. This is buy idea will be buy stops above yesterday's high. Looking at price came up. Yeah, looks good. Labeling is nice. Your zone work is pretty nice. Um, Buy stop looks good. I'm a little bit aggressive. So I'm going to be waiting to see if price closes above 132.850 so that I can give my trade a second chance for it to continue moving bullish. When you close 50% of your position, is it based on how many pips you're in drawdown or the way candles are forming? Bhav Singh, I literally explained why I closed. I'm not sure if you came in late or what's going on, but I literally explained exactly why and when I closed. Oh, okay. If I take entry based on a 1 hour candle close and 15-minute close opposite my direction, should I close 50% or wait? See, that's something you have to test. When you ask questions like, should I do this or should I do that? That's what you have to test on your own terms, because different things can happen at different times. Because I didn't expect this to go in profit and then come back in, so you have to test things that work according to you. Like, this is just an idea. I present ideas and then you have to mold those ideas based on your personality, based on your risk, based on your confidence. All those things matter, right? Because something that that's set in stone for me and it works based on my psychology, my experience, it might not work for you. So it's really important to really mold those ideas, take time to, because like these ideas, I didn't just wake up one day and say, hey, this is what I'm going to do. This was formed over months of figuring out, like, how can I make my losses small. It took me months to do this, right? So it's going to take you the same time, maybe not longer but smaller time, but it's going to take you still time to really understand and grasp the concept and really try to mold it. Oh, okay, mute everybody. GP cat 30-minute price is ranging, clean sell under 1.69163. Yeah, I think that looks good. Clean sell under that area, new low to retest this low. I think this looks good. Watch this. All right, let's take a look at this. This is clean 30-minute NOR NOS US 30. Oh, very nice, man. Beautiful. You got it. What's your spread on GJ? My spread on GJ is 1.4. Entered at 820, exited at 816. 820 and 816. That's like 0.4 pips. Mainly I just lost commission. Since you've been here a year ago, how are you doing for yourself, meaning live trading? Your risk management strategy is based on opening multiple positions at the same time and then closing them one by one depending on the level. No, that's not about it. I think you need to yeah, no, my risk management is very different. It's not opening multiple positions. I only had one position open. All right, we got to get rid of the spammers here. You can't spam. Looking for this trade. What do you think? Let's take a look here. So I'm actually looking for another set of buys. So I gave my trade one chance. I lost around like, 1 pip. That was my loss. It was 1 pip. Let me put it up over here. And the second chance is going to be another set of buys. One pip. Can't believe it, man. Pretty small loss on a 10 lot. It was like a $37 loss. 37 plus $70. That's commission. So $100. Every day I wake up, I focus on how can I make my losses smaller. Every day. That's my main goal. How to make my losses small. Because if I can have smaller losses, then I know my wins are gonna stay the same, but relative to the losses, they will always go up. It's just simple mathematics. Let's take a look at the 5 minute here. Yeah, I think we could possibly give this a second chance here. Just gotta wait for this 5 minute to close because it just started and it's about to close, you know. So we need to close about 132.850 on the 15 minute, and that in turn will flip the 30 minute bullish, and the next 30 minute can continue going up. So we'll have to wait. It's a waiting game. What are your thoughts on this? Let's take a look. My thoughts on this. My thoughts on this. Ooh, oh, it's loading. All right, waiting for a rejection from these two levels here. If you're looking for sells, I think your zones could be a little bit thinner. I think they're pretty thick. Bearish engulfing candle. Yeah, I think this zone could be a little thinner. It's pretty thick, you know, so it should be a little thin. But yeah, sells look good if you're looking for sells. I've been watching all your early videos. The information there is priceless. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome. See, now this is good. If this candle starts closing above, 132.850, it's going to be a really, really good opportunity to take second set of buys and then aim for like 133. It's like 14 pips away. Yeah, I think that's going to be a very, very good opportunity again. So, I mean, this loss I had, I don't even count this as a trade. Oh, looks like 132.850 hit. Just needs to. New 5 minute candle also started. Yeah, I think it should continue. It should continue the bullish trajectory. It just got 4 minutes left. If it breaks its own high over here, then I'm going to enter the position. But right now, I'm just waiting. We're waiting right now. Let's come up a little bit. 860. Yeah, it should look good. Bum, 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 bum. Am I wrong, or did you private some of your old webinars like the Science 2.0 small videos? Yes, yes. Some of that stuff has been privated because I found out someone was trying to resell the stuff that was up for free, so I took them down. I'm in EA buys. Let's take a look here. EA buys. Yeah, it looks good. I think it's coming down to create some sort of a support to continue moving up. That's what it seems like it. So, your stops are secured. So it should continue moving up. I mean, it looks good until it creates a support down over here. So it should continue moving. Giving my trade a second chance here for the buys. Giving this a second chance here. So I think we should continue moving. I understand you for privatizing it. Thanks. Yes, exactly. What's your point of view in taking early profits? I find myself taking early profits. I think you need to really see, like, if you're taking early profits, why are you taking early profits? Do you think prices will still continue moving? What's the probability that when you do close and take profits, price does move in your favor? So those probabilities you have to hash out, and then you have to understand that, okay, maybe if I leave it open, maybe if I want to leave like a certain percentage running, all those things. So you have to look at those things. I mean, you have to be very, very analytical when you're trying to trade, right? So once we're watching this candle here, I don't think it's going to do what I expected it to do. So yeah, probably gonna leave it right over here. Yeah, it's no good. That was the second attempt. Didn't really continue, so calling it a day. 2 attempts, both unsuccessful. Now I'm gonna leave my buying bias over here. Yeah, so when a single candle breaks its own high, that means it's creating a higher high. So that's why it's pretty good to be in that position. Raja is not in mood today for trading. Yeah, it's just like honestly, I'm not in mood to trade at all because I looked at what I did this month and I'm just like, yeah, I don't even know if I want to trade anymore. Um, do you think big lot sizes make you close early? No, not at all. Not at all. See now this 15-minute candle closed where you wanted it to close. And now this one should be continuing moving bullish. So yeah, it's pretty good. The charts are tight, honestly. Yeah, it's pretty tight. This is a very tough spot. Now you have this one confirmation that should continue moving it bullish. But if it doesn't, then the buys are going to be very short-lived and they might not work at all. So you got to be careful. Raja took those 2 losses to chill out. Yes, it's whatever. Why did you not wait for the candle to close? Because I'm in no mood to trade today. Third chance. Well, it could be. Could give it a third chance. Who knows? But I guess that's going to be a really good target there, 133. So Josh said Raja's done for the month. Yes.
It's
Yes.
interesting that you say that because that's when people realize that they're not going to compound their account to $1 billion. You've crossed a new threshold in life. You're just like, I don't really care to trade more. I've made enough money for myself. So when people talk about, oh, well, why don't you just flip an account to $1 million to $1 billion? The human psyche doesn't allow you to do that because you're not deep down inside, you're not motivated by money. You're motivated by other things.
Yeah, it was just like wasn't really interested at all this morning. Even though I saw it, I'm just like, yeah, I don't know. Oh, nice. Now it's moving. Candle closed bullish above 132.850, and yeah, it should continue on theoretically.
You know, I was in that buy yesterday during the Asian session, and I got stopped out. I just checked now. I was in that buy from 132.541.
Oh wow, 132.5. Wait, you took it in London session?
No, in Asian. I got stopped out.
Oh yeah, with all this mess over here. Yeah, this morning I woke up and GJ was just doing some retarded things, like around 4 a.m., 5 a.m. Like all this mess started moving up across this area. I'm like, what the hell's happening here on GJ? So
Yeah, I mean, we dropped all the way down to 132, 126 with which was a pretty strong level. I think you had it marked on your charts too. Yeah, the 160 area,
yeah.
that area there, we dropped right there perfectly. So I mean, anyone who took buys from that level probably won the internet today. Also got stopped out on gold sells. I'm in one gold sell right now. Um, I've been holding it for a while, since 1707. So we didn't break that level. Um, and if you look at all the higher time frame candles, they've all been very bearish. So I'm expecting us to go to 1700.
Oh yeah, 1700 is a strong level here too.
Yeah, I'm also using Confluence that yesterday when the US 30 rose 500 points, the gold actually dropped massively as well. So I'm using that as Confluence. So today with US 30, I expect us to go to the moon again. But my issue is, how are we going to get there? So it'll be interesting to see how that works out.
Yeah, because yesterday we thought like 25,000 was like a strong level to break,
Yes.
but I guess it was no match for US 30.
Yeah, I mean, I could see us now going to 25,800.
25,800. I have a level drawn up here.
It's the
Oh yeah,
weekly
right
level.
there.
Yeah.
25,800.
So what I'm going to do with US 30, how I'm going to play US 30 is I'm going to be waiting until the North American Open, or sorry, the New York Stock Exchange Open, and I'm going to be taking that position at the New York Stock Exchange Open, because what I've done is I've watched the last, I think 5 or 6 times we've had the pre-market data over 300 points, so anywhere between 300 and 500 points positive, or 300 to 500 points negative or positive. And what I've correlated is at the New York Stock Exchange Open at 9:30, there's a massive whipsaw to the downside or to the upside, depending on if we're negative or positive with pre-market data, and then it just drives for the next couple of hours, and then by about noon, you could probably get out of the trade with a nice profit. So I'm going to be looking at that as an opportunity to take a position.
So I'm guessing if it starts consolidating here, there's a very high chance it's going to start continuing bullish.
Yeah. So that's what I'm thinking, because when I'm looking at the pre-market data, we're still up, like we're 339 points up. So what's happening right now is the currency market is going to absorb that. So we're going to get an initial push, and then there could probably be a pullback at 9:30 to get this secondary push where the equity market now absorbs that data. So that's the reason why US 30 will probably move the way it's going to move.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning, good morning.
How are we doing? Good?
Indeed.
Good.
GG at monthly demand, it will rocket up like this next month. Yeah, let's see how this month closes. Will you ever put the signs and some of your videos public again? No. No, 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 no. It's time to, I think, really protect my intellectual property, so that's why. Do you think GG will push back to 132.500? I think it needs to break below 132.750 to continue down to 132.500. So there's a condition for that to happen, right? Do you have any? Do you have? Did you have bad habits when you first started? Yes, overtrading and over risking. Two very bad habits. I think the only two habits that will really hinder your progress. Uh, hey, good morning. Have you taken any trades yet? I don't know if I took any trades yet. High form pre-London stop loss trailed. Ooh, we got a nice entry down over here. Beautiful. Someone's expecting GJ to go towards 133, 400. I think that's very aggressive, but good luck. Yeah, I think US 30 should continue here. I think with volume in NY should break it up. How often do you backtest? I've been backtesting this US 30 for about a month now. Almost it's going to be a month and a half. I'm backtesting US 30 for a month and a half. And what I mean by that is just by looking at US 30 in this specific time, from 6:30 to 9. Just been looking at US 30 at this time. I've taken two trades so far in US 30. One has been a winner of 100 points. Second one has been a loser. I think I lost 80 points there. I'm testing it on a live account, on $1,000 account, to really see if I can really, consistently trade it. Because it's not easy, man. US 30 is not easy. It's pretty hard. It's really hard to trade. What did you hear from? What did you learn from watching US 30 on bank holiday? I learned not to trade it because it's a bank holiday. Could you please explain how you use pre-market data? So pre-market data is bullish. So then you say, okay, well, US 30 should continue moving bullish as well, but you need to have price action should give you that confluence that we should continue moving bullish. Can you trade 0.01 lots on Vantage FX? On US 30, I don't know. I'm trading US 30 on Trader's Domain. I think the leverage is different on Vantage FX, so I'm trading it on Trader's Domain. I love in the webinar. Keep doing good things. Oh, thank you, thank you. So yeah, I think it was a good idea not to take a third attempt at GJ. Can you on Trader's Domain? Connor, I just said it 3 times, man. Come on, Connor. I said it 3 times, yes. What's the difference between if we take market fluidity course and learn from your 3 live sessions? I don't know. When you're ready for market fluidity, you will know it in your heart. You are ready. Until then, just stay with the live streams. When will the gold spreads be normal? I think it's going to take a long time for gold spreads to be normal. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen soon. Gold spreads, I think from what I know is that, so to put it in layman terms, I believe that there were some big institutions and they dropped gold, which means they stopped trading gold. So the cost to trade gold went up. So that's what the spread is, the cost to trade gold. Where did you get pre-market data? Basically, what I did was I went to my browser and I typed in pre-markets. It looks like it's a Friday today. I typed in pre-markets and then I saw CNBC and I clicked over here and I got the information right here. Pre-market data positive. Simple, super simple stuff, man. I think a lot of people overthink themselves out of simple solutions. Anybody here uses Traders Domain, tried the demo account, seems very expensive to trade. Well, it depends on, I mean, seems fine for me. Um, probably covered this already, Howard. How many accounts did you pull up before you got profitable? Yeah, it's not about blowing accounts. It's not about blowing accounts. You don't have to blow a certain accounts to get profitable. It's not something like that. I think that's a very bad way to look at stuff that, oh, I think it's okay to blow up 4 accounts because this guy blew up accounts. I mean, I know people who didn't blow up no accounts, and they're still profitable. I'm currently holding that one. What do you think? Let's take a look here. Let's take a look here. Oh, I think we already looked at it. There's nothing to think because it's reached resistance there. So, yeah, that's it. See now, GG is just ranging. See now you see candles printing side by side. This is a very, very, this is in a range now. This is ranging. Now when you have candles printing side by side, man, okay, these candles are ranging now. So now you start looking at the fact that, okay, I mean, now you'd want something to close bullish to continue up, or you'd want something to close below 132,750 for it to continue moving down. Because now it's in a tight range. US 30 is still over here too in this range. Oh, what's this? We have highs on the same level, lower highs on the same level, active bull sequences, lower red zones. Yeah, it looks good. I mean, you're looking to buy above this red triangle you have, or waiting for a correction to come down. Looks good. So you're expecting price to go to number C. So how'd you get this rectangle to be exactly where it is right over here? And then this rectangle to be exactly where it is right over here? This is mind-blowing, man. Like, I'm not trying to roast you, but this is just mind-blowing. It's mathematics. There is an Asian stream, but no, Viraja, no. I give out my Asian session ideas to my groups via text, so you get text messages. Why US 30 and GJ look correlated together? You know what? I've been thinking about that too. That sometimes when US 30 is moving bullish, GJ is also moving bullish. I've been noticing that. And the same thing happens when they start to go down after NYC open, especially. I've noticed that correlation. Haven't really came to the the main cause. Please explain why taking less trades is important. Is it universal or just your situation? I think it's universal because generally speaking, naturally humans, we cannot make more than 3 or 4 emotional decisions in a day, and when you're making decisions based on money, those decisions are emotional decisions, for everybody. Which time frame you use to trade for confirmation on GJ? See, for this one, I'm going to be looking to see if we get a close below 132,750. I think it's going to be on the 15-minute because this is where we have a solid support formed. So I'm going to be looking for a close below 132,750 to try to see if I can take sells continuing down to, yeah, I'd say like 132,500 would be better. I speculate the same firm is trading GJ, yeah. See, we're breaking down 132,750, and if it breaks down, it broke the low on the 30-minute candle. If it starts breaking down 132,750, there's a very high chance we're gonna correct this move and come down to 132,500, which is going to be around 20 pips away. Any tips to share on keeping your anxiety down when you are live in a trade? Yeah, just be calm. Like, well, you guys can see me, right? You guys can see me. You can see my, like, facial expressions I make when I lose a trade or when I win a trade. It's almost the same. Like, of course, I get happy when I win a trade, but at the same time, I get happy when I have really good risk management and I close in small losses. So that's also happiness. I don't really get anxiety anymore. I used to get anxiety, but now it's just like whatever. Like if I know that I'm gonna wake up and trade every day, and I'm gonna have, if I trade 10 days, I know 7 days are gonna be profitable days. If I only stick to 1 or 2 trades a day, then there's gonna be no anxiety. So, this is gonna be a good impulse entries here on GJ to continue moving down, all the way down to 132, 500 would be pretty good. So, yeah, I think those sells should be good once it starts closing bearish here. Have you gotten that Super Duty truck yet? No, not yet. Have to fund something else first. I always walk away from the screen or watch something else besides the trade. Yeah, I think that's also number one thing. When I'm in a trade, I rarely look at the trade. I rarely look at it. Like, if I'm going to take a sell here, I'm not going to look at it. I'm just going to look at something else, and I'm just going to keep looking at the price. Because there are 10 minutes left for this 30-minute candle to close, and 10 minutes left for the 15-minute candle to close. So it's always better to look at the candles once the candles have closed, because most times what's going to happen is that guys talk themselves out of a trade because, like, they're looking at the candles, they're looking at it moving, they're like, oh man, should I stay in, should I get out? So those things matter a lot. I remember my first question on the stream 2 months ago was, what is bullish and bearish? I got roasted so hard, but now I learned. Yeah, that's hilarious. Ooh, this is the same chart. Yeah, we already looked at this chart. The magic rectangles. Good evening from Australia, Raja. Just closed trade on GJ for 50 pip after watching and learning last few nights. Really getting a lot out of your content. Oh, nice, man. It's beautiful. Would you recommend to trade GJ and UJ at the same time? Yeah, you can trade both at the same time. Will you announce the winner today for the Instagram thing? I don't even know what the winner was for the Instagram thing. I don't even know if there was a contest. Um, Break of support below. Yeah, I think it's kind of breaking down here. The 5 minute is coming down to the support. I think once it starts crossing this wick at 132,700, once we start crossing that wick, I think it'll be another opportunity to take the correct bias, which will be the selling bias, coming down towards 132,500. Because there are biases in price. There's a wrong bias and the correct bias. And if you really look at trading from the I'm sorry, I'm having a language barrier today. Would you recommend to trade early in the morning because of the emotional decisions? I mean, you have a fresh mind and not, is it emotional decision well for trading? I think I trade early in the morning because that's the time. That's the only time I have time. I mean, I have time at this time. This is when no one bothers me. So you should trade when no one, when no one's going to bother you. No one's gonna ask stuff or tell you stuff or stuff like that. So yeah, it's like a job. When you go to your job, no one bothers you, so you just do your job. So trading is like your job. I come here in the morning and I know no one's gonna bother me, so it works best. Will you agree that to make six figures, you don't need a six figures account? Yes, you don't need a six figures account. If you have a six figures account, you want to make six figures, you are already up in six figures. I mean, growing your own account, trust me, growing your own account is going to be so much better. You're going to feel so much better when you start growing your own account. It's very, very rewarding, because trust me, if you have $1,000 account, I remember when I started back, after I had to reset, I started with 5,000 and 5,000, like the first 10,000 is the hardest, going from 5,000 to 10,000 is the hardest. 10,000 to 15, 20,000, it's relatively easy. I think the next barrier, I think it's most of a mental barrier, comes at like 50,000. That's the mental barrier. Getting to 50,000 is super, super hard. And then the road becomes easy to getting to like 60 and 70. And then I think on a weekly basis, if you're consistently doing, let's say, 200 a week, 200 a week, you're consistent, you're keeping track of your losses, you're making sure the main work you're putting in is that you're making sure you're keeping your losses small every day. Every day you're working towards how to keep my losses small. How? If you can keep your losses small, it's gonna work very, very well in your favor. Trust me on that. Um, so yeah, if you're doing like 200 a week and you're really disciplined, that 200 a week becomes like 500 a week. That 500 a week becomes 700 a week. Then one week you make $1,000. You're like, oh man, I made $1,000 this week. And then after 4 or 5 months, those $1,000 a week, it becomes to 4,000 a week, or 3,000 a week. Now notice I said 4 or 5 months. I didn't say 4 or 5 days. You know. How to avoid fake outs ranges that got stopped out. Yeah, Jonathan, there's no real way to avoid fake outs because fake outs are there to fake you out. So what's this? You need to provide some more information on this chart. You need to provide more information. I mean, what did you do? Did you take a buy? Did you take a sell? At what candle did you take the trade? What was your thinking process when you take a trade? Because all you wrote was, I got stopped out here in London, and you drew a circle right over here. I mean, I don't even know what to do with this. You need to provide some sort of information like this, you know? Yeah, so, yeah, you need to provide more information. What do you consider a small loss, 200 or 300? That's totally up to you. For me, a small loss is like $400. For me, that's a small loss. Was this a small loss to me 4 years ago? Oh, hell no, man. 4 years ago, a small loss for me was like $2. $5. That's a small loss. Is Hugo's Way better than Trader's Domain? I haven't used Hugo's Way. I have used Trader's Domain. I think Trader's Domain is pretty good. Actually, I did use Hugo's Way for like 2-3 months. And I don't know why I moved. I think I moved towards Vantage after that. But any brokerage is better. See, here's the thing. It's like I'm with a bank called CIBC, right? And I know people who are with TD Bank. And I asked them, hey, do you like CIBC? They're like, oh, hell no, man. We don't like CIBC. And they have their own reasons. And some guy, a day trader, said Hugo's Way is not regulated. This is the most uneducated thing you can say, that, oh, a brokerage is not regulated. It depends where you live, man. If you live in the US, okay? If you live in the US, Hugo's Way is not regulated in the US. KOTFX, which someone owns, they're not regulated. Traders Domain, they're not regulated in the US. Vantage FX, I use them, they're not regulated in the US. Pepperstone, same thing, not regulated in the US. I mean, you really have to use your brain and say that, okay, if it's not regulated, based on which jurisdiction is it not regulated? You just can't say some things are not regulated and regulated. That's just such an immature approach towards things. So I guess GJ is just ranging here. That's why side discussions are starting. All right, let's take a look at this. This is EuroCAD. So Jonathan Rodriguez, I'm still going to wait for that chart. Just to let you know. EuroCAD. You're looking for sells below here. Two options buy. Yeah, I like the buys. The sells, it could get a little tricky here for the sells, but could work well. When do you start the next mentorship for market? Yeah, I don't know, like maybe November, December. Again, the only people who can join market fluidity are the ones who know deep inside they are ready for market fluidity. Because people ask me a lot of questions and I never even answer one question. All right, yeah, much better. Support formed, resistance over here. Oh, sell stop got activated. Yeah, this was the problem. This was the problem. So how long does it take to get access to the Forex family? Well, you do have access. I think you need to message me on Slack, Kevin. This area. You would have wanted a candle to close below this area instead of using a sell stop. I think if you're new, I, I don't think you should be using sell stops and buy stops at this level. You should be waiting to see if candles do close below zones because this is one problem with sell stops and buy stops, you know. It can just activate it. Sometimes, man, the spreads activate your sell stops and buy stops. And it's even worse. In which situation you normally use stop limit because price tend to move quite fast? Yeah, it depends. It's not every day I use it. It depends. Like let's say if someone had a sell stop on gold at 1704, you know, so you use a sell stop to catch the move as it starts coming down. You know, because we know gold and GJ they move a lot, you know, and when you put a sell stop or buy stop, you're expecting price to continue pushing through that area. Just like gold, I think now it broke below 1704, so I think it should keep on pushing below towards 1700, 1701. If GJ breaks that support, you would expect it to fill the entire candle. Yeah, I mean, I would expect it to continue down till like, you know, 132, 500 extended target. 500 could come down to 600, but I'm going to aim for like 500. So yeah, I think as Ted discussed in the morning, I think gold will continue down to 1701, 1700. Already fell 20 pips. Gold is falling at the same time as yesterday. Yes. Do you enter when the candle closes below or on the pullback? It depends. Oh,
Yeah, sorry, yeah. I keep
oh, one sec. All right, we're
yeah,
good
there
now.
you go. Yeah, you're right. I think we're gonna probably hit 1700s as we drop. I finally caught a good gold trade. It's been a while.
Yeah, the spreads are still high on gold over here.
Yeah, that was the other problem too.
I guess the movement makes up for the high spreads.
Well, the thing is, I think that's starting to become the norm. To be honest,
Yeah.
the way the spread is, that's the norm. So I'm starting to accept it. I just had to adjust mentally um, the drawdowns because as soon as you go in, you're in like like a 6 pip drawdown right away, right?
Yeah.
So I got getting used to that. But we're approaching to the left a bit of consolidation. So I have a mark at 1700, like 1701. So I'll see if we can. Ultimately, I'd like to get to 1689. I think that's a nice key level. But I think 1700 even. Hopefully, we should be able to get that either this hour or next hour because this now is broken out on the hourly.
Yeah, it should be good. Someone's taking buys on US 30, entering on a new 30-minute, looking to be out of this trade by 9 a.m. Well, good luck. You'd want this area to break for it to continue moving, so I think that'll be quite a challenge. Ooh, Josh hit TP on EA. Well, very well done. Price made a new low. Price is making a lower high. If price closes bearish, should continue making lower lows and lower highs. Yeah, I think if you're in the sell over here, I think it's a very difficult sell because it's basically at a support. So I mean, Alex, I've seen you take trades, and this is not the kind of trades. Oh, you're not in yet. Oh, okay, okay, okay. Yeah, the idea is correct. Cheers, man. Looking forward to learn. Oh, nice. GJ just may fly up. Yeah, there's a lot of waiting involved on GJ right now.
Oh, and the discussion earlier about regulated versus unregulated, I think people need to start looking up the definitions between a regulated versus an unregulated broker and what regulation actually gives you. I think what you should be working on is reputation versus regulated versus unregulated. I think that's a bigger thing is look for someone who's reputable or that you know other people that are trading on that platform. There's multiple brokers now that are unregulated that have been around for years that have, not given anybody any headache or hassle. You can choose to work on them or you can choose to work on another platform. But really just look at what other people are doing and evaluate yourself, and then if you like that you do it, if not, that's okay too.
Wow, looks like it's gonna keep on pushing strong.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out if I exit at this level or not, because it's come down to my level that I wanted to exit. I might just move my stop down a little bit. Yeah, I'm just going to secure 30 pips and let it run.
Looks like GJ and gold are moving side by side here now. Ooh. Looking to execute this short entry. What do you think? Let's take a look here. So this is looking for sells below this area. Yeah, I like this. I'm actually be looking for sells too once it starts to, break below 132, 750, 750, 740. Oh, there we go, approaching 1700. Should kind of like have a last spike down. Because
Yeah.
normally what happens is when it reaches a zone, people take buys and gold just starts to rip them a new hole, like boom.
Yeah. That's a good trade.
Why are you promoting a broker you don't even use? Well, last I checked, I had no rules on life, right? I can do whatever I want. Please take a look at this chart. Let's take a look here. This is sell stop on gold. Nice, it worked. Looks like it worked. Very good. What websites do you guys find useful for news? I use Forex Factory, to be honest. That's it. I only use Forex Factory. I've never had the need to look at some other news websites. Never really thought about looking at anything else. I mean, if there's something I need, like information on, then the information is provided by a lot of people here in the chat.
Oh, Roger, you were right. It just spiked and came back. It did a little tiny spike right to 1700.
Yeah, I think it's gonna continue down towards 1700. Can you have a look at this? Let's take a look. Looking for buys above this level. This looks like a significant level in H4. Price will go up. Yeah, I think what you will need is you will need to see if you do break above 133. So you'll need to see if you break above 133 there. So there's going to be a lot of waiting involved.
All right, I've locked up 40 pips, so I'm good. It's breaking down into that zone.
Yeah, it's going to start breaking down.
When
Ooh.
should I be looking at stops at break even? I think it's your comfort level. A lot of these questions on when I should move stops, how should I take profit, it's your comfort. Like like right now my stop is 40 pips in profit. So if price whipsaws all the way back, I'm comfortable with that. Before my stops were at break even, if price whipsawed all the way back, I was comfortable with that as well. Now I'm 63 pips in profit. As soon as I move to 70 pips, maybe I'll move my stop 5 pips. I'm also watching the smaller time frames, right? So this is a 15-minute candle. This 15-minute candle hasn't closed yet. So technically speaking, maybe I want to move my stop back above the previous 15-minute candle. Or, on the next hour candle, maybe I want to move up a little bit more, right? It's when it comes down to comfort at that point, to turn around and say, okay, well, where do I think I am comfortable having profit taken, or in terms of my risk management. There's no right or wrong answer. And this is the thing, as you become a more proficient trader, you're going to realize that you're going to do things that are good for you, and not good for anybody else. And the more times you do things that are good for you instead of following everybody else, the better off you're going to feel. because trading, you shouldn't be copying people when you trade in terms of how you attempt things or what you do. You should be leveraging skill sets that people have and saying, hey, I like that aspect of their trading. I want to figure out how to make it my own. I like the way they do this aspect of trading. I want to make I want to have, do it my own. Like I want to make that my own. That's the biggest thing. When you make trading your own, it becomes a lot easier for yourself, because copying involves you having to understand every variable of that trader that you're copying. Right now, as an example, people would have potentially entered gold on this 30-minute candle. I couldn't tell you where to have take profit. Maybe you want to take profit where we spike to. Maybe you believe you're going to hold longer. Both are correct because it's what you're comfortable with. We have to get out of the mindset that this is the way we do something because this is what someone else does. No, someone else shows you how opportunities work in the market. You have to evaluate if you like those opportunities or those opportunities fit your comfort level. Because there'll be a trade or an idea put up, 10 people will agree and 10 people will disagree. Does it mean that either side is wrong? No, it just means that the comfort level of the decisions that they make and the choices that they make are different. So when you get used to that, you will find trading will become a lot easier for yourself, because too many people ask, well, what would you do here? Does moving my stop here work? How many pips should I take? What should I be doing here? How should I be doing this? And those are answers that you get based on who you are as a trader. A perfect example, how many pips do you usually go for? Well, depends on whatever comes through, right? People have to get used to that. The mechanical process of copying trades, following signals, all that stuff, it's not going to help you in the end. You have to look at a trade, and as an example, you'd look at this trade here that we're watching right now with gold, and you would say, hey, I would have exited right there, or I would have exited right here, because that, to me, it seems like it's getting a little shaky, right? So I want to exit. I look at where we are in the market. Maybe I should exit because the next hour maybe pulls back a bit before it drops. But my stop is, secured 40 pips. So I'll let it run to either 40 pips or further down. And as the next hour forms, if this hour candle forms like this and then it continues this way, then maybe I place my stop here now and I let everything happen in this area, and then I continue moving down, and then I move my stop again. Or maybe I move my stop into a smaller time frame. It depends on what's happening to the left. It depends on where we are in the market, where we are in the session. What are the higher time frames showing me? How much has the pair already moved? Like, there are many factors that you have to take into account. Your experience level. What if you had losing trades this week? What if you had 2 losing trades this week? Maybe we want to secure profit now to just bank a win. So there's many things that you have to factor in when you're actually taking a trade.
Rage on that beat, going crazy.
I just closed. That's a good question. Yeah, so day traders talking about regulation versus unregulation. So that's a good topic to talk about. I like having these discussions because they're objective discussions. So regulations are used by the government. All regulatory bodies require a fee to be regulated in that jurisdiction. That fee is covered by the business and it's given to the regulators. And that's fine. People want to pay regulatory fees, business licensing fees. That's part of running a business. The issue arises if a regulated entity goes under in terms of any sort of poor practices. It's a very, very small chance that you do get any funds back. There are obviously insurance. There's some insurance when it comes to regulation, but usually there's clauses in that insurance that will not allow you to get funds back. If you look as an example, if a regulated broker goes under, chances are the regulatory body isn't going to refund you your money. They'll refund you a portion, if that, depending on what the total money stolen is. The other thing that comes down to is a lot of times the regulatory environment, they will go after the broker in terms of their practices, but then you have to file a civil suit versus the broker to get any further compensation. When you look at the regulatory environment, let's put it this way, and I said this on a podcast, if you have a bad person running a regulated broker, they're still going to manipulate you. They're still going to try and steal from you. It doesn't matter if it's unregulated versus regulated. What matters is who are the people running the organization, and do you put your trust in them? I think that's what you have to look at. And at the end of the day, too, nobody says you have to trade on one platform. You could diversify your money and trade on 3 or 4 different platforms. Maybe you want to trade on a regulated platform for certain instruments, and maybe you want to trade on an unregulated platform for other instruments because you want flexibility. So just really keep that in mind. And like I said, the reason why companies are regulated is because they paid a fee. It's not normal. It's not usually because they pass some checks and balances. Those checks and balances are already in place, to be honest. Unregulated broker still segregates your money, still does things. What regulations normally do is they'll restrict how you can perform certain actions, right? With a regulated broker now, a lot of the spreads and a lot of the leverage is reduced. Some people want leverage, right? They believe that they want leverage or they want this, so they go with unregulated. Other people don't mind having their leverage reduced. It doesn't mean one is good as one is bad. Not only do they pay a fee, they're surveillanced. I worked for a regulated company. The surveillance is basically your duty to submit documents and paperwork. That's the surveillance. The regulatory body doesn't show up at your door and knock and say, hey, can I see what you're doing today? You have to submit documents and make sure that they're in order. And with that, if you miss that, that's when they come knocking on your door. And usually those documents are just audited accounting statements, to be honest, to make sure that you're running a legitimate business. And yeah, looking at reviews on websites. I mean, it's very hard to find reviews now on brokers because a lot of companies make money now publishing fake reviews, or brokers pay money to publish positive reviews. So sites are sponsored by broker companies as well. So keep that in mind as well. I think at the end of the day, if you're comfortable trading on a platform and you have a friend trading there, they've been open for a few years, chances are they're not going anywhere. And always make sure you deposit money that you're comfortable with in their system. Don't deposit $1 million if you're not comfortable leaving $1 million there. Chances are you're not going to you know, trade the whole $1 million. Just to have a big account you don't really need. So if you're trading a $500 account and that's all you have, just make $100 deposit then, things of that nature. And you know what, make a deposit and test the withdrawal systems out. Make a $100 deposit and ask for a withdrawal, see how fast it comes, see what they do, and go from there too. It's just really just make sure that take control of your own financial situation. That's the bottom line. Brokers should really never become insolvent because they're intermediaries. I have no solvency issues on my side because I really don't have any issues. I think the bigger brokers have more to lose because they have office towers, they have hundreds of employees, and to be honest, that's where I think technology is going. As the larger brokers become more leaner, they're going to have to cut costs, where smaller brokers like myself who've built a lean system to begin with, we can absorb like differences in commissions. Like if the whole industry switches commission structure, I can absorb that cost without actually affecting my fixed costs in my business. So I think it's proper business management that creates insolvency. It shouldn't be the actual buying and selling of transactions. Like you're not a part of that. You're just bringing two people together. I mean, taking into account a number of scams out there, it's really hard to believe. For me, anyone can recommend unregulated ones. You'll find that there's always going to be bad apples everywhere. I think in this industry, when it comes with money, there's bad banks, there's bad brokers, there's bad registered reps. If you just go on to the U.S. regulatory website, you can look at all the fines. They fine banks all the time. Banks have been fined millions of dollars for improper practices. They've been regulated. They pay their money and move on. So I think we have to look at that. Unregulated brokers manipulate price. The price feeds actually come from another source. We as a broker don't own the price feed, to be honest. So a broker can't really manipulate that price feed, because at the end of the day, it's very rare that you have one side of a platform, or that the majority of people are on one side. So say, for example, people are selling gold here, there are still people buying gold. So to manipulate that, it's very difficult. And really, a good broker, if price does look like it's manipulated, which usually it isn't, what it is usually a liquidity provider leaving the market, and that's where we get spikes. They will look at the trade logs and they will make a fair determination of what they should do with that actual trade. So if you do feel that there was unfair trade practices against you, if you email your support team at your broker, they should be able to look at that objectively for you and assist you with that. Many brokers do that, both unregulated and regulated. There are things that are out of people's control, and so we just have to, evaluate the merits of what we want to do. It's not a matter of having laws for anything or not having laws. It's a matter of understanding why the laws are in place. Yes, are they beneficial in the regulatory environment? Yes, but why do I have to pay fees to be regulated by a government agency? Why? What is the purpose? If my business pays taxes to the government, why am I paying an auxiliary fee to have them police me? I don't pay the police station extra money to have them watch over me. It's part of my taxes, right? So when you look at that, there's a little bit of a cash grab incentive there as well. So I think we have to take that with a grain of salt. There are ways to skirt regulations. There's brokers that get Cyprus regulations that aren't even in Cyprus. All they do is they get nominated people and they open up a address by that nominated person who's already living there, and now suddenly they're regulated. Does that mean it's right? No, that person's not part of the platform. They were just bought by the platform to be regulated in that aspect. And that's where people have to learn that there's ways to skirt regulation. There's ways around regulation that are not the proper way of doing it, but you can still be regulated. Did you close manually or your TP was set at 1700? I just closed manually. I had a price at 1796 on my charts, and that's what I was looking at. Scheme of regulated brokers make an effort. Yes, of course they make an effort because they're paying for something. So now they want to do their best. Like I said, we can debate regulated versus unregulated for hours, and I think there's merits to both sides. It's really do your due diligence, make sure you're comfortable with who you're working with. And if you're not comfortable, move platforms. It's okay. Like Raja here, he mentions 3 brokers in his description. He uses all 3. You don't have to use any of them. He still gives you the same information. So I think you just need to evaluate things that makes the most sense and what is your comfort level at the end of the day. There's lots of people that don't use my platform, and I'm fine with that. I'm never going to be upset if you don't use my platform. I'm not going to stop helping you if you don't use my platform. That's not my job. My job is to make sure that you're comfortable as a trader. So really keep that in mind. Raja is promoting things here that he's used or he's getting paid to promote. You can either use them or you can say, no, you don't want to use them. You can't get mad at someone getting paid for promotion because that means that they have influence, and that means that they're doing something good, because otherwise there wouldn't be people here on the stream. So you look at that with a grain of salt as well and say, hey, I don't want to be a part of anything that's being paid for promotion. That's fine. I don't think anybody cares either. I think Raja's coming back from the gulag. Rakeel promoted Gorilla and Trader Central too. Yeah, so Big Red, I think that is that's a crutch, or that's something that we all have to pay the price for. When we promote other people or other organizations, we do it with the best intentions. I think a lot of people are quick to point out hindsight, or quick to point out the problems after the promotion is done. But when the promotion is running, or people are endorsed and things are fine, nobody bats an eye. And I've made this mistake. People Um, people get after me for the people that I've endorsed, and at the time, those people were already working on their own and already had a following. I was looking to give people alternatives. And I think Raja's always done that as well. We've always tried to give alternatives. We've always tried to give people or organizations opportunity to help the community. And, people have come in with good intentions. It's just now we have to, and I've learned this, I don't really endorse anybody anymore because I don't want my name pushed through the mud again because somebody has a bad experience and I was the one who said that this person was a good person. I try and look for the good in people. I think if someone's opening a mentorship group or a service or a streaming service, I think they're going in with good intentions. Obviously they're going to be profiting from people in terms of people buying mentorship or signing up for signal services or whatever they're signing up for. There is a cost for those people's time. Can we justify that cost? I don't know how to build a calculation to say that one person's service is worth more than the other person's service. There isn't a formula that you can put together to say, well, this person does this, this, and this is what they should be charging. It's up to us as a community to either accept that as supply and demand. If you believe that this person's time is worth that amount, that money, you pay that. If you don't believe that person's time is worth that money, you don't pay that. So I think that is where we have to look as a community and be a little bit more vigilant. If you believe that someone's not doing a good job, don't participate with them, don't give them acknowledgement, things of that nature. If you think someone's doing a good job, then you participate with them. As a new trader, you should be looking at what the person offers and you should see if that makes sense for you. If it doesn't, then don't do it. If it does, try it out. If you don't like it, leave. That's part of life. We look at how many different institutions there are in terms of education. There's thousands of universities. There's problems with every university. Some like this university, some like that university. So we just have to use better due diligence in terms of what's going on. But oh, look at that. GJ just flew down.
Yeah, we caught this move down. We were
Sorry.
talking about it in the Zoom chat.
Yeah, man. It's
Wow.
beautiful. So
Yeah, it corrected the whole move from just like we talked about earlier.
yeah, I'm expecting Dow Jones to do a pullback today.
Wow, I closed too early. I closed at like 486.
Oh man.
Jesus. How could you have predicted a drop like this? Well, we were talking about it the whole morning. If we get a close below 132, 740, 750, there's a very high chance it's going to correct this move. Wow, this has been a very good day here. Wow, super nice. Looks like part of the YouTube was reading the chat here in Zoom. And they also took cells. Well, if you guys took those cells, man, give a like on the stream here. Just put this thumbs up, get a like, boom. Missed so many trades that people were taking, and when one trade goes along with my trading plan, boom. Yeah, that was great. Gold also played out well too. It's still running down. I have a question. Oh, this chat moves way too fast. All right, let's take a look here. This is question. Just as my TP got hit and price might go further down, can I enter again or is it too late? Well, then you have to see how you could have taken the sells. That's what you have to see. Yeah, there was no news. I can't find any news here so far, but the whole idea was that this move up should get corrected if it starts breaking down, which it did. The same thing could have happened yesterday too. I think it was right around here. Yeah, same thing. It could have happened yesterday too, but it didn't. So today it made sense. You know, we had to move up, had a resistance formed, attempted buys. Buys didn't play out. So then you start looking for sells because if price is having a hard time breaking up, then where else will it go? Oh, someone sent a chart. Let's take a look at this. Charlene sent a chart. Multiple rejection, enter at bearish candle. Second trade, same set of stops above the previous 10 pips hit, 10 pip hit. Nice. Nice, very nice. I think the next idea is to let it run a run, so it's pretty good. EU plan to borrow 750 billion euros. Oh wow. Chief negotiator says EU needs to evolve position to reach an agreement. See, this is interesting. Price will tell you where, like, price is just going to go where it's going to go, and what you will do is you will just look at the levels and say, okay, well, it seems like we're breaking down, so it should continue moving down and whatever, right? And starts moving. And then you look at the news, you're like, oh, okay, well, this made sense with the news too. So I think price action, it really predicts what the news is going to be. Price action really predicts that. I'm a firm believer in that, and man, this has been happening for so long. Let's move this here. Wow, gold is still moving towards 1699, 1698. You think I would make another bullish candle after closing the current one? I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, I got like 20 pips out of this. Entered at like 704, 705, closed around 484, and then it fell 20 pips more. Why you trade again? You said your rule 2 closed day, so you break your rules, so you over trading, right? Not really, because the first one was like a one pip loss. It was like a $30 loss on a 10 lot. I mean, it was very, very negligible. So that was a write-off. I made the trade, but in the first time it closed almost at stop loss. Should I wait for the close? Why don't you try the EST Mon challenge? Because I don't need funding. I am my own funding. And we've moved past FTMO. It's okay. Entry when a 15-minute candle broke the low. Okay. Oh, you got stopped out over here. Stop candle broke above TP1, 10, TP2, 10 pips. Yeah, I think it was better to wait for the 30-minute candle to actually break the low. That would have been a much, much better entry. Some people took entry over here too, because when you're looking at the 15-minute, you kind of get caught in the like little retracements because the like weak confirmations. But even though you see like they were making lower highs and lower lows, so enter 2 times using 15-minute candles as stop loss, got stopped out, lost around 3% and made 9%. Oh, very nice. Yeah, so if you're entering based on 15 minutes, just make sure your stops are, pretty good based on the 30-minute and the 1 hour. It's kind of like the sells we had in the Asian session yesterday, right over here. Yeah, it was right over here. people had sells. So if you were looking on the 1 hour, it made sense on the 1 hour to take a sell, yeah, right over here, because the stop would have been above the 1 hour candle, and this move down was the move you took. But if you look on the 30 minute, you see the 30 minute broke the high of the previous candle. But over here, it was just pretty good. It's pretty amazing the way it fell. Didn't really expect it to fall all the way down there, but you know, I guess it worked. Broke below 132,500. And can you make a smaller risk trade at the breakout candle, then put more risk once you get your confirmation? Yes. Yes, you can do that. Cheers for the stream. Have a good day, mate. Have a good day. So this was the trade of the day here. Putting more risk with the volume in the market is crazy as shit. Yes. Can you explain entry and stop loss for this? Yeah, I mean, if you were looking to see, I mean, it's just like my entry was at 132,704. My stop was like around 10, 11 pips. And I was aiming till like 132,500. Where to now, Raja on GJ? Now with GJ, nothing. Nothing. This was the move. This move is done, and you should forget about trading. You think GJ will break 132, 100? Sure. I mean, if it goes down there, then sure, it's gonna break it. But that was the trade, and that's it. You know, like you guys need to get in the habit of when you win a trade, just get in the habit of calling it a day, being like, all right, it's done. Why you didn't enter in the 15-minute close? I entered at right here when this closed, and when this candle was going bearish, I entered at 704. I think it was like 132, 704. Check. This was actually 707. What do you think about this idea? Let's take a look here. It's not better to enter in the close. I don't understand. Jonathan, I think you need to, if you are in, I think you need to go through the entire webinars so your questions will be answered. I mean, if someone's new here and if you're trying to trade without going through everything, it's just going to get really hard. It's just not going to work that way. Like, you know, because it's not easy. There are different things you need to understand. There are different things you need to learn. There are different things you need to experience. And without really looking at certain things that will help you, it's just gonna get really hard as market is moving live, and as you know, experienced people are taking positions, they're executing. You know, it's gonna get really hard to follow. Uh, what caused this move? It was news. I give a trade a second chance. It was my only two trade of the day. It was the third trade. Should I give it a second chance or no? What have you done? It's up to you what you want to do. I can't, I mean, come on. It's up to you. If you won one and lost one and are confident I should shoot for a third position with a smaller risk than usual, yeah, I think you should go ahead. I mean, it all comes down to your risk. Like all these questions about how much should I risk, what should I do, it comes down to your risk. Like most people haven't really put in the time, and the time meaning like you haven't really looked at one specific thing for a number of months, so you don't know what to do. Like when you enter a trade, you should know what you're going to do. You should know when you're going to cut profits. You should know when you're going to cut losses. You should know where your take profit is, where your stop loss is. Whenever I enter a trade, I'm already mapping out things. I'm mapping out things. What will I do if it goes in a drawdown? What's my strategy? How will I execute if it goes in a drawdown? How will I execute if it goes in profits? So those things you have to understand. 80% people, what they do is they'll take a trade and then they'll be like, all right, time to figure out what we should do if it goes in a drawdown. I mean, it doesn't work like that. You need to have an exit plan before you enter a trade. Today I did 3 trades, 2 losses, 1 profit, so now I'm at break even for the day. Should I call it a day? Well, that's up to you. If you want to risk another trade and go in a loss, that's up to you. If you want to risk another trade and go in a win, that's up to you. But just know this, right? Just know this. If you are at break even after taking trades, right? Or if you're in profits after taking trades, understand this. You're in the top 90% who won today, who ended the day in break even. The other 90% lost. The other 90% they lost. They're still losing. They're in the red. So you have to understand where you're going to be. Do you think liquidity providers can manipulate price when the broker doesn't have no last look on liquidity because they know the stop loss broker gets better price for liquidity instead? Base boost addiction, I think you should stick to base boost. I think you're really overthinking stuff. These things, I've never even thought about this stuff. What liquidity providers can do, can they see my stop loss, can they see my man? Trust me, liquidity providers and brokers, they don't give a shit about your $10, about your $100, about my $1,000. They don't really care. So that thinking is, I don't think that's really going to help you trade. I'm trading in London and NY session. Do you recommend the rule with 2 losses for both? It's up to you. Ruben, don't throw it all in. Just try it a little bit first. Someone's getting roasted. Trading is simple but not easy. Yes. Thoughts on Sammy Trader? I don't know who that is. Thoughts on Sammy Trader? Chances are, if you're looking at a particular guru or if you're looking at a potential mentor, and if they don't show you their trades or withdrawals, or if they show you enticing things more than what they show charts, chances are that it's not going to be a good fit for you. You're supposed to only take a trade when a candle closes in your direction and the next candle respects the previous candle's lower high. If at any point the candle retraces above or below the previous candle, is it best to just close the trade to avoid a bigger loss? Yes, I would say yes. To that, I would say is that maybe on the 30-minute chart, if in a small time frame a candle breaks the high of the previous candle, like let's say if you had this candle, if it broke the high of this candle, then I'm going to be looking at the 30-minute to see if it's really breaking a high on the 30-minute. And then I have to decide whether I'm going to close 50%, if I still think it's going to go my way, or if I'm going to close the entire position and whatnot. So all those things you have to keep in check. Like in Asian session yesterday, the 30-minute broke the high, but the 1 hour didn't break the high, so those things can happen. How do you first start trading Forex? I was June 2016. Raj always tells you about this, don't copy him, be you. Yeah, man, like people always want to copy, just don't copy, and just understand. I mean, of course, like most trades we do win here, most trades I call out, they're winning trades, but at the end of the day, you should really know why it's happening. What would have been a likely reason for that 50 pip drop? Um, because we had a clean move. Without looking at the news, we had a clean move earlier on after London Open, and we expected price to continue moving bullish. I mean, it made a high at 133, expected price to continue moving up when these candles were closing bullish, but they didn't. And then we started making lower highs and lower lows. So once it started making lower highs and lower lows after consolidation, it just made sense for price to continue down and correct this whole move up. I was expecting it to come down to 132,500, but it eventually came down further more. So with that said, and then we're like, okay, well, let's see if there was any news, right? So we looked at the news and there was some news. So this breaking news caused it to move down. But we didn't know that this news is going to happen. We only knew based on price action that we should be coming down. And then the news happened, and then news happened at the right time. And it pushed it even more down. GPJPY still continue downside because weekly still bearish trend. Yes, that is true. Look at this 4 hour. 4 hour is basically at this, it's creating a support area here, right here. It's rejecting this resistance at 132,760. And if it breaks below 132,280, then the next target is going to be 131,790. 790, 780, yeah, that's going to be a good target there. So looking at it from a 1 hour perspective, we came down and we tapped into this support at 132, 150. And if we break below this area, then we're coming down towards 131, 800, 750, whatever. Because we got a clean candle here to the left. I'm up 9.5% this week. Feel like I don't even want to trade anymore. Well, Anthony, that's how I felt like this morning. I took a small buy and caught profit in a 30-minute wick of GJ. Done for the day. I became the wick. I think you became the wick in the right direction. Ooh, wrong chart. Here's my chart. I have been watching the stream for 7 months now. Alright, let's take a look here. Entered here once new candle began rejecting a bull move. Okay. Move stop loss and profits once 10 pips. Oh, nice. Beautiful. Pretty good. Alright, let's take a look at this. This is if range potential sell below here. If 30-minute candle closes below support, obviously indicates a good sell opportunity. However, given the second 15-minute candle potentially closes bullish, which forms the wick, would you wait for a further confirmation? Yes, I would wait for a further confirmation, and that confirmation is basically going to be, so this is the level I had drawn. This was based on the 4 hour support. So let's take a look here. This is the 30-minute. Basically tap down over there, and if we zoom in on your JPY, seems like it's respecting a support over here and it's got a resistance up over here. Now going down to the 15-minute time frame, it's coming back up. So yeah, I think you would need a 30-minute candle to close below 118,660, because on the 15-minute it seems like it's pretty messy on the 15-minute. So I say on the 30-minute, you'll have to wait for a candle to close below this area for it to potentially come down to fill this wick. I think that's going to be a good idea. What's this? Just want to thank you. First trade is obviously trade management skills. Oh, second trade entry from the, oh, nice. Let's take a look here. A very good move because it's a free trade now. Oh, nice. So you had a buy and then you had a sell, Entered once the candle broke the low of the previous candle. Beautiful. Stop loss is up over here. This is nice, man. Very nice. That news is going to confuse a lot of traders. I think the only way you can get confused in trading if you really start overthinking. You know, if you really start overthinking stuff, you really start getting confused. So something you have to keep in mind. Ooh, I'll be right back.
Rage on that beat, going crazy.
Nah, man, he's not here yet. Vincent.
Oh, is stream over?
No, I think Rakeel just went to go get like something to drink or something.
Yeah, I was sidetracked and heard all the silence, and I thought stream's over.
Just watching gold at 1700, 1698.
Yeah, I'm kind of watching it too.
I took the buy from 1698, from the bottom there to the just the top of the wick right here, like 2 minutes. But we need support created and like some fear sentiment, you know, in the market for it to go up.
Yeah, I mean it's on the high time frame. It's really bearish, though, isn't it?
That's why I'm not willing to hold it, you know. Just got in and out.
Oh, you're already out?
Yeah, I've already been out. I took like the $2 move, $1.80 move.
I can't do those small moves on gold. My spread is so high. It's like,
Oh, Rakeel used it, like I seen he suggested Vantage FX, so I took a look at their spreads. They're pretty low, bro. Like if you
on gold.
are able to use that.
Actually, yeah. Sorry for that.
No worries.
Yeah, actually, it's not so bad on Vantage.
Yeah, like it's like a 2-3 point spread, right?
Yeah, 2 pips, around 2 pips, 2-3 pips, whatever. It's just bouncing up and down. How many pips did you manage to capture?
So I just got from 1699 to 17.9, 1700.9. So like literally just
16 pips or so.
yeah. And I had 2 positions, like $50. It's not good.
Cool. I mean, I didn't see any supports forming unless it was what, on the 15-minute.
You know what? So I draw the zones at the 4 hours and stuff, but I was watching the 1 minute. I was watching the 1 minute, and there was like
a double bounce. Yeah.
Yeah. So I caught the second bounce there, or I don't know which one, but one of them there. But like it hasn't made you see how it's coming back down to the support there now at like 698.9. We just need like a higher time confirmation support, and like this could be maybe an entry to go up, you know, if market aligns.
Yeah, I think if Eurozone has had bad news, maybe the shift will be back.
I didn't even see that other news come out for Euro. Like that was just random. Fuck. Earlier, something came out for.
Yeah, I had an entry, but I was like having trouble with my magic keys, I think. Well, I accidentally closed half multiple times without realizing I closed almost everything.
Oh, you could close half and half, like
Yeah,
half of
yeah.
half. Oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
And then I realized my position was hardly anything by the time I caught the move. So I was like, what?
Yeah.
I still caught it, but not like anything decent.
You know what, bro? I look at it like we're in the business of making money, not like being right. You know what I mean? You might have an analysis, only like part of it plays out. As long as you made money, you know, at the end of the day, part of the goal was achieved, you know?
Yeah, normally I don't normally. I don't know if rakeel normally mutes everyone, but
No, it's just like everybody just kind of has the respect to just not like, you know, mute themselves if they're not talking. So he doesn't mute everybody in here.
I'm kind of expecting gold to fall a bit more. I think she's got to break that low.
Hello. We are
Yo,
still here.
yeah.
All right. Yeah. I had to run out and do something. Had to-
It's all good, brother. We're just watching.
You still streaming, Raja?
yeah, it's still running. Yeah, it's still running.
Yeah, I found Alex, huh? Alex A.
Alex A? Who?
Yeah, he's in Jeb's thing, bro, in the nighttime. In
Oh,
the
you found him.
London sessions, yeah, bro.
Yeah, he's a cool guy.
I was like, bro, you're not in Rakeel's thing anymore, like in the morning streams.
Yeah.
He's like, no, I'm everywhere, bro.
Oh, the guy. Oh,
Yeah,
Alex.
yeah, Alex from Miami.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we
Yeah,
still
yeah,
talk. He's in the groups here with us.
yeah.
It's hilarious. Like, oh man, you're here. What's this? EuroCAD 30 minutes. I think for you to catch this wick fill, I don't know how long was this message sent. Oh, 10 minutes ago. Yeah, you'll need to see if this low breaks here or not. Like if you can see a low broken down here, then you can say, okay, that wick is gonna get filled. Like on GJ right now, you know, like it made a low, so there's a very high chance it's gonna come down to retest this low because it's broken the low over here too. Ooh, looks like Barty had a nice trade. What's this? GJ 15 minute. Wait, what? This price is still ranging. This is from the past. Yeah, it looks good. This is from the past. We'll look at it. I'm gonna look at it later. We're looking at the present right now. Oh, I think you sent it to me on Slack. It's like Clark Kent just had to go out and do something. Yeah. Mark the 5-minute support resistance zones from yesterday in my session opened all the same zones. Yeah, it's kind of like in the same range here, right over here too. I've seen on your simulation videos during market replay that you always open 2 positions with 2% risk. Why you that instead of open 1 position with 4%? I think the only reason I do that is so that it's easier to close 1 position rather than closing like a partial. So if GJ goes below the low of the day, is that a sell potential? I think you need to send a chart. Do you think you're taking any more trades today? Nope. My last trade was to sell. Yeah, so I'm not taking any more trades today. US 30 is a sell. Yeah, sure. I mean, if it's gonna come down to correct this move and really neglect this previous bullish candle, then it's probably gonna come down because it couldn't break up, right? It has to go one way. And it seems like it's gonna go down. Time to start my day. Take care, everybody. Take care, everyone. That's a very, very good thing to do. Time to start your day. What is up with Gorilla Dude? Guy went on a removal rampage. Oh, he started removing people? Yeah, Gorilla, man, him, I don't know, man. Like, he basically said that I have done nothing for the Forex community. And in other words, he hasn't learned anything from us. So that's okay. I'm not going to talk about it more because that's just giving more, exposure to him. So just going to stop.
There's no time for negative energy, bro.
Yeah, I'm just like, wait, what? And I'm like, all right, I'm out.
I find that very interesting. He always come up with some good information about the technical analysis, not technical, rather fundamentals. And I find it very interesting that he's saying that. I don't know. Anyways, it is what it is.
Yeah,
Unfortunately.
take a look at this chart. Strong support, multiple touches, waiting for a bullish candle to close. Okay, you're waiting for a bullish candle to close here. Yeah, makes sense. Simple break and retest there. This is your JPY, right? Yeah, it's your JPY. Yeah, it's like kind of ranging right now. I mean, now you gotta see when's there's going to be more volume, right? It's going to be by like
London close.
yeah, NYC open like 9:30.
Oh yes, it's still 9 o'clock. I thought it was maybe like 10 now or something.
Yeah, I know, right? I
Oh
thought it's
man.
like later in the day too. What's your idea about gold? Do you think it will go back up? So two people asked those questions. One category is who are in buys and they're stuck in buys. The second category is who are looking for buys because they think they've reached a support. So I think to get good confirmations for buys, you would want price to maybe break above 1701 for potential to continue up to maybe retest 1705. Yeah, I think that's going to be a pretty mature approach if you're going to look for buys. This area, see, because essentially it's just kind of like ranging here. Even though this is the 15-minute time frame, and you could argue that 15-minute time frame is like a weak confirmation, still, like, it's gold, it's very volatile. So when some things are very, very volatile, you look at the smaller time frames. Now that's an advanced idea. So if you're new, don't take this as it's written in stone. It depends on which pair you're looking at. If you're looking at USD JPY, looking at 15-minute might not be a good idea. But if you're looking at something as volatile like gold, then looking at 15-minute would be a very nice idea. So it's very specific to a certain pair, and you really, really have to look at it. Can you please explain your strategy? Yeah, I mean, this candle is bearish, next one should go bearish, and if I was trading, I would take a sell, keep my stop here. It's a pretty big stop, so I might lower my lot sizes and then take a sell down to retest this low. So that's my strategy. And if the next candle goes up, then it hits my stop loss. If the next candle goes down, then I win the trade. That's the easiest way to really explain my strategy. Why did you broke your trading rules? Yeah, because the only reason was that the first trade was like a small loss. Like I lost $37 on that trade on a 10 lot, so it was pretty small. I mean, I lost half of commission basically. When do you know when to take your profits? Yeah, so I mean, if the next candle starts going down, or if this one starts heading down, then you know that you're like, okay, do I want to take my profits over here? Do I want to take them over here? Because if price reaches this area, then it's reaching a potential support. So you don't know whether it's going to break it or reject it, right? So then you have to decide, okay, I'm going to take my profits over here or over here, close to this area. Yeah, so Euro AUD on steroids, 170 pips 4-hour candle. Yeah, man, Euro AUD is like the dragon. See, Euro JPY, it's the new 4-hour candle started. It started bullish, and it's not. It's just hanging in there. If it wants to go down, I think it needs to kind of like retrace up a little bit. Sort of maybe create a liquidity wick and then continue down. All right, what's this? GPNZD. Break for clean buys, break for sells. That's a very good idea. That's a very good chart. You got a support here which it broke, came down, started ranging. These two zones are excellent. Thoughts on EJ sells? Let's take a look here. Sell on break of this candle. Yeah, I think that'll be a very valid idea. Like once this candle respects maybe let's say the middle of this range and it breaks the low of the previous candle, then you could argue that okay, well since it's respecting the high right over here and it's breaking the low over here, then it should continue moving down to fill this wick right over here, which is going to be at 417. So yeah, it's like 15 pips away, I think. Yeah, 15, 20, 18 pips away. I think that could be a very valid trade. Could be a valid trade. Same thing with GJ here now. If you're looking at it on the 15-minute, you want this candle to stay below the high of the previous one for it to continue down. Same thing goes for 30-minute. You see it's making a lower high. It hasn't made a lower low, so you're expecting this candle with volume to create a lower low. But it has to respect the high of the previous one. Right, so when you start talking about previous candle highs and previous candle lows, you're basically talking about stop losses, right? So like let's say if someone was to take a sell at this point, then you're going to say okay, my stop loss is going to be above this candle because essentially you want this candle to continue down and make a lower high and then a potential lower low. So that's kind of like the idea you go off of when you look for trades. Like map out what's your risk, because now you have your stop loss. Now you got to see that, okay, how much am I willing to lose on this trade idea, right? So yeah, here's a chart I'm waiting for. Let's take a look here. This is we'll wait for a retest and resistance perform a sell. Yeah, that's pretty good if you're looking to make a minor resistance. Tim C. Please, can you analyze my chart, mate? Enter when price bearish past previous bull candle. Yeah, looks good. You're looking for sells here too. Looks good. I think GJ will range in 132, 200, and 133 as 4-hour close bullish. Yeah, I think so too. 132, 200, and 133. I was mostly looking at this area here. Like around this area, 132, 550, 132, 600. Because if it crosses this area, then it's heading back up. Same problem. How do you use your money management, please? I don't take more than 3 trades. Yeah, it's just like basically money management. You really have to understand, like, let's say if you're a new trader, right? So you really have to understand what your goals are, what your expectations are from profits, like, you know, like what do you want to do with those profits. When I really started getting really strict and really anal with money management, I started to look at that, okay, how much do I really need? You know, how much do I need for this time, for this month? You know, let it be, let's say if I focused on the car insurance, right, which is like $250. So I could say, well, okay, I may want to focus on paying the car insurance from Forex, right, or from trading. Because now when you're focusing on that, what you're doing is you're basically aiming towards a smaller goal. Even though overall you have a bigger goal, but you have to start small. You have to cut that bigger goal into small increments, right? Let's say you want to say, hey, I want to live off of trading, right? So then you'll have to look around and say, okay, well, if I want to live off of trading, I want at least $3,000 to make a month just to pay bills, and then the rest is going to be bonus. So that's going to be around $6,000-$7,000, right? For you to live a very comfortable life, living off of only trading. You know, but when you're starting out, that's not going to happen right away. You know, so you're going to cut that bigger goal into smaller goals, and smaller goals is going to be like, okay, well, I have all this bigger goal that all my bills should be paid by trading, but let's see if I can start small. Let's see if I can start from a car insurance, or maybe like a phone bill or internet bill. Let me see if I can start from that point. Because now when you start focusing on the smaller things, let's say the first month you're going to say, hey, I'm going to aim to pay my car insurance, and I'm going to focus on maybe making $250, right? That's your goal, right? And the month ends, you end up with making $170. You know, now you can say, well, maybe, okay, let's put that towards the phone bill. You know, that's what you do the first month. Now what happened is that you have saved money from your job or from whatever side gig you do. You've saved money from there, and you used profits from trading to put towards like a smaller bill. You know, and as months go on, what you're going to find is now you're going to start making more because you're focused on a smaller goal. But as time goes on, you know, also to the point is like you're focusing at the same time every day too, like in the morning or in the evening time, like, you know, London Open, whatever, you know, but you're only focused on that. So you're getting good at those times as well, you know. So as months go by, you start making more money. You're like, okay, well, the first month I made 170. Now the fifth month maybe my profit is $500. You know, so the fifth month, if your profit is $500, now you can pay your car insurance and your phone bill at the same time. You know, so slowly you're creating this extra stream of income to overtake the bills that can be paid from your primary income, which is your job if you're in sales or whatever you do, right? So that just takes time, you know, and that's money management, which, I mean, I don't know, man, like no one talks about that money management. It's really important. You get more confidence this way. You, like, you know, you get a sense of fulfillment basically. So, you know, and the sense of fulfillment is that, hey, I've been paying a part of my bills from trading for the last 6-7 months, and that's a very powerful feeling. You know, and then a day comes when you profit $2,000, you know, you profit $2,500, and then you're like, hey, you know what? The biggest expense in my life is my rent or mortgage, and now I'm able to pay my rent or mortgage with that money. And then you're like, okay, you know what? Forex is real. But if you don't get disciplined, if you don't if you still overtrade and over risk, and if you wonder that why are some people always winning, and even though they're losing, the losers are small, and you start questioning things, that to me, then that means you're very inexperienced and very like your discipline is really garbage. You know what it comes down to is there's no discipline, there's no routine. So like my routine is to trade from 6:30 to 8:30, 8:30, 9 a.m. So if you look here now, it made a liquidity wick. This is liquidity wick for it to continue down, hopefully. What's this? GJ, 4 hour candles forming higher lows, higher highs. Previous candle closing bullish. Took an entry, expecting the wick fill of the previous 4 hour. All right. So Mr. here is looking for buys. I think if you're looking for buys, I think good buys if you're looking for buys on the 4 hour, you have to understand that the 4 hour candle just started, right? So 4 hour candle can dip down, it can come down over here as well to continue to go up. So I think a better position to take buys would be to wait for a support to be formed on the smaller time frame. That's why they say that look for small time frame for confirmations. This is what they mean. If on the higher time frame you think price is going to continue up to fill the wick, then on the smaller time frames, you're going to look for a confirmation of a support to be formed. Because if you can get a confirmation of support formed, then you can take a buy and expect price to continue up. Like let's say if you say that, okay, this candle closes bullish and we have a support formed, then price can go bullish, if you're looking for buys. So then we'll bring this down over here. See, now it looks really nice for buys, but if we bring this up over here, and we talk about, okay, how this candle is going to fill the wick because trend is down, there was a lot of bearish momentum, so with volume coming in at 9:30, we should continue pushing down. Now it looks very good for sells, right? You should always have like two biases playing in your mind at the same time, because if you're in sells right now and you're like kind of like on the edge, if it's going down, is it still levitating over here, like what the fuck is it doing? So you're being cautious about the sells at the same time, but you're still in them. You're really managing your risk. But if the 30-minute candle starts closing bullish, and if you're a very experienced trader, what you're doing at that point is you're like, okay, well, maybe it's creating a support, right? If this candle closes bullish, then you're like, yeah, maybe my sells are not going to work out, and maybe it's just creating a support to maybe continue to go back up. Make sense? So that's something you have to be aware of. Someone in a gold buy since 1690. Holy, this thing is running down. Anyone will long from 1690. Wow, man, this thing is running downtown. Gee, 1690. Yeah, 1690, 93. Yeah, I think you'll need some sort of a confirmation here. Let's take a look on the 4 hour. Yeah, yeah.
They're trying to catch the fallen knife, bro.
Yeah, it works on gold. It works sometimes, but pretty scary.
Yeah. I don't know. I just have so much peace of mind just watching and being out of a trade that shit, man, nothing like it.
Yeah, exactly. Like you take the trade, you take your profits, and then
yeah, don't do nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Don't
no click, no nothing, no sweating, no nothing.
Yeah, especially no sweating. Hey Raja, in my country, I am working in London session and NY. What can I do? Well, what do you want to do? You want to do NY or London? Oh, you're working at that time. Yeah, I think maybe Asian session. Someone's up $550 for the day. Very nice. Yeah, it's crazy. Could someone look at my chart, please, and let me know if I'm on the right direction with this potential trade? Darren Brandt. I think you need to send the chart for us to look at it. Wow, man, this thing is oof. I had a sell on gold. I had a sell on gold earlier. This one, oh wow, this one was at 1702. So I caught from here till here. This is what I caught. That little move.
Nice.
Nice, bro. This thing has fallen almost 83 pips.
Hey, but we're in the business of making money, right? So you
Yeah,
made
that's
money
true.
there, bro. You know,
Yeah, exactly.
I bought from 1698 to like 1701 or 1699, 1701, and just like closed and sat there. And
Mm.
now I'm looking at it, and I'm like, that's so good. I got in and out and done. You know.
Yeah, that's pretty powerful feeling. Raja saying now money is not a problem. What are your overall goals for the next month's trading life? Does it affect your mindset? No, like now we're looking to, I think by the end of next year, I'm looking like my goal is to have like maybe like have an apartment complex, like a multifamily complex with like 8 units, 10 units. That's like my goal for the next year. 2021, 2022. If it happens within that time period, it's going to be blessed.
That's really nice. I was looking at like duplexes and stuff, to start investing in properties.
Yeah,
So, what's the thing that your thing's called? So, multiplex?
multiplexes.
Nice, huh?
Yeah, multiplexes.
You looking in any specific area, or like have you started looking, or?
Yeah, like Waterloo, Cambridge, those
Yeah,
areas. There was one for sale in Mississauga. They wanted 5 million. That's a
yeah,
lot.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
No,
here in
but I
Mississauga,
seen
they're
like,
expensive.
yeah, I seen like 4 million was like out in where you're looking, like Cambridge, Waterloo, and stuff. Like even 2 hours away from here,
Hmm.
there's like 10 house, sale for like 10 units.
Yeah.
And they're like way less than whatever 1 units over here.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. The only thing is like they require 20% down payment. So it's going to take a
Okay.
little. Yeah, it's going to take a little bit of time to
Mm-hmm.
save up. I was talking to somebody yesterday, and we're like, man, remember when we used to save up to buy fucking games and stuff? Like, save money up to buy games or a new CD that came out. And
I don't think I've ever bought a CD, bro. I've always torrented that,
oh
or
yeah,
like or
yeah,
like LimeWire and all of that stuff from back in the day.
yeah, LimeWire, Kaza. There's this thing called Kaza.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
there's a few.
CDs I only bought of people who I really like Eminem. Just I also bought a CD for 6ix9ine. I really like his music.
No way.
Yeah, just support him. He's my boy, man. Come on, what you mean? I'm back. She's back. He's mad. Aha. Are you dumb, stupid, or dumb? Yeah, I bought the very first one, Eminem, Marshall Mathers. I think that was
Mm-hmm.
second or third. Yeah, that was the first one I bought, Marshall Mathers. And at that time, I saw him like cursing in the songs, and man, I was just like, what? Is he allowed to do that? You know, because I was young. I was like in what, like ninth grade,
Yeah.
10th grade, ninth grade, 10th grade, something like that. And then I heard him like, whoa, man, this is sick. He's saying fuck, fuck, fuck over and over again. This is so cool. What should I do, guys, on AUDJPY? Let's take a look here. AUDJPY. I don't know. What do you want to do on AUDJPY? Do you want to take a sell? It's at support. Do you want to take a buy? Candles are bearish. Can you wrap? Yeah, I can rap here and there. I can rap. I was a rapper. You know, in my school days, I was a rapper. Um, yeah, there was my rap cover. This was on my album cover here. That picture. That picture is how old is this picture is actually from 2000. Oh wow, 2007. It's a pretty old picture. 2007. See, so I'm a grown man. That picture was from 2007. Can you check this, please? All right. Take a look here. SPX 500. Yeah, I think you'll need to wait for a candle to close bullish over here. I mean, there's a lot of consolidation here, so you know what's going to happen. Oh, some guys are saying spit some bars. I don't know, man. Spit some bars. All right. It's raining hot, it's raining low. Let's all get naked, start the show. Give me yo close before the show. Feeling like a mofo, but you're happy though. My dog is here, and pimps are here and everywhere. We ain't gonna share no dicks with those pricks. When you hear the tick, the bomb blows, and your mom explodes. She tease me, please me, she ain't gonna leave me. Sue me, kill me, pussies. Bitches wanna keep me, oh. Now's the time for me to shine. From the north to the east to the west to the south. When I open my box, you got my in your mouth. So we're gonna stop over there. Stick to trading. Oh man. Yeah. Thank you. See, if you like that rap, just give a like on the stream because it helps the community. That's crazy.
That was good, bro.
Man, I was waiting for someone to join in. Roger Banks on the mic. Yeah, so I think a lot of people missed it today. A lot of people missed it today.
Miss what?
Missed this jamming session we just had.
Yeah, it's pretty lit.
Yeah, it was pretty lit, man. Weren't you here?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, so basically now the 30-minute candle is now starting to flip bearish, but you need this to break the low of this to come down over this. Check it out. It's microphone. Check it. Wix don't lie when rakeel come to wreck it. Oh, check it. Microphone. Check it. The Wix don't lie when rakeel came to wreck it. See, now it has broken that low over there. Now it increases its chances to continue moving bearish. Right? And then you could say now the 30-minute is going to come down and fill this wick over here. I think you should edit this title to the rap edition. Yes, I think I should do that. Yeah, someone's going to try and sell that mixtape, man. Fucking scammers. Scammers everywhere. Do you know Promo is Canadian rapper? I don't know. Apparently some famous rapper died. Who didn't I know? What's his name? Legacy? Was his name Legacy?
Oh, I think from the King of the Dot thing, like a Canadian rapper, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, those guys just like Toronto rappers. Battle rap, I think that's what you mean.
What's the guy's name though? Legacy?
Yeah,
Legacy?
it sounds familiar.
Legacy something. Houdini. Yeah. Damn, crazy.
Wow, it's 9:30 already. Damn.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean Houdini died? Oh
Yeah.
shit. Because Legacy is like, from 20 years ago, that kind of like guy from there. Houdini is like up and coming Toronto rapper. Oh shit.
Oh, was he a famous rapper?
Yeah, up and coming, bro. Like just from the class of like the people now that are up and coming. Oh shit,
Oh,
this guy just. Oh man, he was young, bro. Like just came in the rap game now.
wow. Seems like you're pretty shocked by the news.
Yeah, I'm shocked, bro. Holy shit. I'm not shocked, but like like because these guys rap about this stuff, guns and everything,
So he
and
had
like
like beef? He had beef with people?
probably, bro,
See,
probably.
this is why I don't beef with anybody,
Yeah,
you know? Because I would have no
you don't
beef.
know who has what, nowadays.
Yeah, it's pretty, yeah. But don't you think like when you're in the street game and all the street culture, all this that bad things happen, like they're a part of it?
Yeah, they're a
Like,
part of it. Like you signed up for it.
yeah,
Like Pop Smoke, bro. That guy he's really good rapper. I was listening to some of his stuff that wasn't like it was still not released and stuff, but
Pop
shit, bro, he
Smoke.
still had a lot of stuff to release. Yeah.
Who's Pop Smoke? Oh,
Pop Smoke, the
looks like
Woo guy.
50 Cent with dreads.
Yeah, exactly, bro.
Yeah, right?
He looked like he had potential.
Yeah, Pop Smoke.
Then you have guys like 6ix9ine just relocating and everything. Oh my god, witness protection. I don't know what that guy's doing.
Man, 6ix9ine. You know, if anyone who is a millionaire, right? If anyone who is a millionaire, if they
Yeah.
were facing with 30 years in jail, you would speak 100%.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care who you are. If you're a millionaire and you're facing 30 years in jail, you will talk. 30 years is a long time, man. You will
Yeah.
talk. You will talk. So all these guys talking about, like, oh, he was a snitch, man. If you were facing 30 years and out of jail you're a millionaire, 100% you're talking. 100% you're talking, man.
I think most people would have, no matter,
Everyone
even
would.
if they
No
don't,
matter,
yeah.
bro, no matter how hard you are, you are
Yeah.
talking.
Yeah. That's like your whole life, 30 years is his prime time too.
Oh, of course.
It's a long time, bro. 30 years. Fuck.
It's a long time. So Raja would snitch on Ted. I would not put myself in a position to be in a compromising position where I have to
Good answer, bro.
snitch someone up. Like, I'm not a fucking retard.
Roger that.
Someone said you must not know about Lil Boozy. Well, I don't know about Lil Boozy, but I know for a fact if I go in jail, my family's gonna starve. So I'm talking. There's no question about that. Boys don't come first, family comes first. Ooh, looks like in the last time this thing is now actually coming down to fill the wick and not go up. See, this is where, like, if you would have taken a position based on the 4 hour that it needs to go up, this is where you need to wait for the slower time frames, because now you would have had a very bad position.
Roger.
Hey, Humayun, how are you?
Yeah, good, man. Good talking to you last night.
Oh, yeah, exactly. It was a fun time.
Yeah, I was like so sleepy and tired and still like up. I was like, I don't even know if I was waffling on.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, it was good.
Yeah, what's is there something fundamental going on with gold, or is it just good news in the markets? So gold is like dumping?
Yeah, it's basically, it had to do this big correction here, right? We couldn't break above the daily closed bearish. It's what we talked about in the analysis I sent on Friday. because like if it starts to break this low, then there was a clean move down. But at the same time, I think there's a lot of good optimism happening around too. Let's check the news. I haven't really seen anything with the news, but futures are up. So if the futures are up, they're doing good, and gold should be heading down because they're inversely correlated. Some are saying that it's grabbing liquidity to fly back up. You know.
Yeah, it was on a massive bull run for a while. So I guess it's like a retrace.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why we like in the
If you look at
morning
the higher
too.
time frames. Sorry.
Yeah.
Tom.
Like in the morning too, when we came in the charts, we were like, yeah, it's gonna fall, because once you start looking left, once you see that something's heading down, you start looking left. You start seeing like, okay, if it's gonna fall, where will it go down to? Right. So first targets were 1700, 1708, and then we crossed that area and it started to move further down. So you start looking left at, okay, if we're crossing this area, the next area of interest is going to be maybe 1695, 1694. So in this case, maybe the fundamental news could be late, right? But technically, if you look at it, you're like, yeah, it makes sense for it to go down. Because then you don't think about what's happening in the, like, like fundamentally.
So with gold, what I've seen, I don't know, I could be wrong, but technically it goes where it wants to go, but the fundamentals just sort of accelerate that process.
Yes. Yeah. So when I'm looking at a trade or an entry, I'm never thinking about what fundamentals are saying or what's that about. If I see prices breaking a support, and if I know that there's range for the next candle to go down to, then I'm going to take that sell. And then later on, I'm going to say, oh yeah, fundamentals are this and that and that. Because then if I start thinking like that, then I'm introducing like some other thoughts in my head, right? They may be contradicting thoughts too.
Yeah.
So it's really good to have them in the back of your mind, like okay, what's going on around and this and that. But when you're trading, you're just focused on just in that process right now.
Yeah, even like starting to get a little bit more confident with my sort of analysis and my entries as a result of just learning from the stream as well as the webinars, etc.
Yeah, no, that's true. I think these streams, they're like a huge resource for everybody.
Yeah, I was just randomly entering on supports and resistances before without proper confirmation. And not understanding why trades weren't going my way. Yeah. Now the probabilities are starting to switch. I just need to risk manage and just be more selective with the trades I want to take.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's about it, basically. Look at
Yeah, I
this
don't know
chart.
if it's like just doing a minor sort of retest, but I had a zone at 94 on the gold, and it looks like it's bouncing off of that anyway.
Yeah, it's reacting to the levels here. It came right down to these wicks.
Yeah, that's where I had my zone. Yeah, exactly there.
So this one is perhaps stuck in the range, kind of creating resistance. So took sales. Yes, good. GJ kind of closed with no wick. That does not mean it's going to go up. It also doesn't mean it's going to go down, because I mean it could go down. In this case, I would say, man, yeah, it could. This 1 hour could continue moving, but essentially when it also filled the wick here on the 1 hour, which we were talking about earlier here, this wick fill is a minor support, right? So if you go to the 15-minute, you'll see this is a minor support here. So if you're in sells, this is where you're securing positions and letting it really run, letting to see if it really breaks this and continues going down or not. Because then that will be 1 hour coming down to 132, 169. That's like another 10 pips. Alright, let's take a look at this last chart and then I'm off for the day. Oh, damn. GBP NZD. I don't know, man. Looks very fishy. GBP NZD. Yeah, I mean, this 15 minute is about to close. You would really want this 15 minute to close bullish for price to continue going up. You know, because the 1 hour looks like this. The previous 1 hour closed with no wick at the bottom, at the top. So yeah, if you can get 15 minute closing bullish, you will have an opportunity to continue going up. So probably your stop is going to be around here, like 16 pips. Could work, mate. What are your thoughts on your JPY? I think your JPY is a beautiful pair. It runs very, very nice. I think it's pretty good for beginners as well. Yeah, I think your JPY broke the support at 118,670, and then this kind of closed with no wick at the bottom. So if you think price is going to continue moving down, you might want to wait for price to break below 118,500 for it to potentially come down till this point, or maybe come down furthermore. Is Ted still on? Who knows?
Yep.
Ted's oh, here he is. Yep.
I was told I talk too much, so I only talk when I have something important to say about charts.
Oh man. But don't worry about that, man. Come on.
Oh, was that when I was away?
No.
No, just in
Oh.
general. When I start talking, the YouTube chat gets angry, so now I'm not talking.
Oh, every day they tell you that.
Yeah.
Don't you remember the email that somebody sent you, Raja?
Yeah. Someone sent me an email, and that email he said that, yeah, Ted talks too much. You should just put a cap. I'm like, what are you talking about? I mean, what? That email was written in a 16 size font, and the font color used was bright pink. So you could just imagine how hilarious that email was to me. Well, I guess GJ did continue moving down here. So nice. 15 minute filled the wick and continued falling bearish. Ted, please talk more. Many learn lots when you do. Anyone from your group doing Asian live? Yeah, I think one of my students, Paul, he does Asian session lives there. Sometimes they catch pretty good trades. Sometimes they have impulsive trades, but it's pretty good. Nice living room. Look gold. Let's look at gold. Oh wow. See, that's why it's really important to secure profits and take profits. Anyway, my time is ending here today. So take care, everybody.
Cheers, Roger.
Cheers.
Your mate.
Cheers, mate.
Take care.
Okay, take care. Everyone, have a great